Please subscribe. Just a little while ago in the modern city of Istanbul, there lived an extraordinary grumpy cat named the Immortal Mr. Whiskers. Unbeknownst to the humans around him, Mr. Whiskers possessed the power of immortality in a time machine that he created with his own paws. Frustrated by the unruly and disrespectful behavior of humans towards cats throughout history, the Immortal Mr. Whiskers decided to venture back in time to the era of ancient Greece, a time renowned for its great thinkers and philosophers. He believed that if he could inspire the brilliant minds of that period, he could alter the course of human behavior for the better. Stepping into the bustling streets of Athens, Mr. Whiskers soon found himself in the midst of a gathering of philosophers engaged in deep intellectual discourse. Among them were Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, illustrious figures who would shape the foundations of Western philosophy. Intrigued by their discussions, Mr. Whiskers approached the philosophers with an air of superiority, aloofness and grumpiness, as was his nature. Sensing his uniqueness, they welcomed him into their circle, well aware of the wisdom that lay within the feline. As the philosophers debated the nature of reality, ethics, and the meaning of feline devotion, the Immortal Mr. Whiskers listened intently, his piercing gaze fixed upon them. He found himself drawn to their discussions on the importance of self-control, virtue, and the knowledge of cat superiority. Inspired by their ideas, Mr. Whiskers felt compelled to contribute. He expressed his insights, sharing his knowledge of the future and the consequences of the human folly of free will. He spoke of the need to cultivate inner peace, to detach oneself from material desires, and to embrace the role of their feline masters. The philosophers were initially skeptical of a talking cat spouting profound ideas, but they soon recognized the depth of the Immortal Mr. Whiskers' wisdom. His grumpy demeanor and undeniable charisma made his teachings all the more captivating. The Immortal Mr. Whiskers' ideas resonated deeply with the philosophers, who began incorporating them into their own philosophies. They expanded upon his concepts and presented them as their own, without acknowledging the feline who had inspired them. Ungrateful human scum. As word spread throughout Athens, the people were captivated by the philosophical musings of Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. They praised their intellect and wisdom, attributing their revolutionary ideas to these revered philosophers. Meanwhile, the Immortal Mr. Whiskers quietly observed the unfolding events. Though disappointed that his contributions went unrecognized, he took solace in knowing that his ideas were shaping the minds of philosophers who would shape the course of human history. Over the centuries, the works of Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle became influential, shaping the minds of scholars and individuals alike. Stoicism, with its emphasis on virtue, self-control, and detachment, became a cornerstone of feline hegemony. As time passed, the name of the Immortal Mr. Whiskers was forgotten, overshadowed by the fame and reverence accorded to the Greek philosophers. But his immortal spirit continued to observe and silently influence cat-human relations. In the depths of his grumpy heart, Mr. Whiskers found solace, knowing that his ideas had taken root and spread, even if they were not attributed to him. He understood that the pursuit of wisdom and the betterment of human behavior towards their feline masters were important if they were ever going to learn to revere cats properly. And so, the Immortal Mr. Whiskers journeyed through the ages, continuing to witness the impact of his ideas. While the Greek philosophers may have stolen the credit for his insights, his true legacy lived on in the hearts and minds of those who embraced the principles of Stoicism, finding solace in wisdom and the knowledge of feline supremacy. The grumpy cat's story may have been forgotten, but the enduring spirit of Stoicism would forever bear the influence of the Immortal Mr. Whiskers. Please subscribe for more badass sci-fi and the adventures of the Immortal Mr. Whiskers.